Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Shy Bears Blitz podcast. My name is Omar. I'm joined with my co-host Abdul, and we got a great episode for you guys today.
So today we're going to be recapping the rookie minicamp now that it's finished. We're going to be talking about PFF Shy Bears starting roster prediction. We're also going to be continuing our core rank series, but this week we're going to be focusing on the wide receiver position.
All right, well, let's get right into it.
So focusing on some rookie minicamp reviews. We've been hearing a lot of good things about the rookies. I mean, Daz Newsome has been showing out. People have been giving him his flowers.
I've been hearing a lot about Des Newsome actually.
Did you see that the comment that he made? He said that he feels disrespected because the kicker got drafted before him.
I mean, I would be too if a kicker got drafted before me. Yeah, but
that's absurd, honestly.
It is, but Des Newsome has actually been showing out in the rookie camp from what I've seen in reports, and also I've listened to some of his interviews, and the dude is just he's got like a Devin Hester like way of talking. And so honestly, I think he has that mentality too, where he's just like tough, like no one can mess with him.
But he also has that he has that playful personality. Like he was he was getting interviewed, he had everyone ask him he had everyone give a recommendation for a restaurant in Chicago before they started asking him his questions. So he has that kind of like playful personality as well, but he also has that determination because he's been doubted being drafted so late in the NFL draft.
I like him actually. I was watching actually earlier today more highlights of him, and the dude has insane hands. The dude makes some insane catches, and I think that he's gonna prove good competition for Miller and whoever is gonna be in that wide receiver 3 position. I honestly like Des Newsome. I heard that Justin Fields had a good connection with him too, so that's already sort of decent with them too. Ryan Pace really liked him. So I'm very happy with everything I've been seeing about Des Newsome. I honestly believe he'll be a solid quarterback. I think he'll be a solid wide receiver for us, and I think he'll be just kind of a threat with that yards after the catch type player, where it's gonna be hard for him to be. He's gonna be like a Deebo Samuel, hard for him to be tackled.
I've been seeing some good stuff about Larry Borum as well. I think in management or someone high up in management, I think it might have been Ryan Pace who even said that. I think it was Ryan Pace actually who said, I couldn't believe that Larry Borum was available in the 5th round. So they snagged him. They think that he's going to be a solid offensive tackle prospect, and he could honestly end up beating Ifedi for that right tackle come September. But who knows?
So I'm gonna just state back what you said with Ryan Pace. So I'm gonna just say everything that Ryan Pace said, because he only said 4 things that were highlighted by Daniel Greenberg. The first thing he said is that Justin Fields is putting in a lot of work, which I'm sure we all know is true because that dude, we've talked about it before, his work ethic is insane.
His work ethic is insane.
He said Bears were surprised Larry Borum was available on day 3, and I don't doubt it because the dude he didn't let up any pressures.
Yeah.
Right, and he's in a tough division too. So, and he has he cut some weight down, so his footwork is even better.
Was it 30 pounds?
He's a little bit faster. Yeah, it was like 30 pounds.
30 pounds.
So he's even faster. And if he works on like the hand movement, he could be easily a solid right tackle for us. Improve competition with Ifedi, or even in a guard position. Who knows? And he said Thomas Graham Jr. will play cornerback and nickel. Which is, I think, I don't know how I like that, but that's not really a surprise because we drafted him as a cornerback. So, of course, he's going to play cornerback or nickel.
Cornerback or nickel, like, that's not too crazy. If he said just nickel, then that would have been very interesting, but cornerback, that's what he was drafted to play.
And then he said for the 4th thing that they got Des Newsome. And I can see why, because that dude has that, like, that goofy personality where, like, you want to be around him and, like, he has that mentality on the field where he just wants to be the best. And he's got the chip on the shoulder, and he just makes things like lighthearted. And you could tell that he has that just the heart for the game, and he feels like just to improve. He wants to be really good on the field and make an impact on the field. And I think that's just great because if we built a solid locker room core, especially a young locker room core with those guys, people like that, I think that's great. And that's why our rookies are just insane.
The sky's the limit, really. I think that so we pretty much recapped the rookie minicamp.
Well, I want to just
you had one more
mention Kairos Tonga. I heard he's actually looking decent. Kairos Tonga, the 7th round defensive tackle. Yeah, that deadly smile. If any of you guys seen just like this montage they did where with like his music, and then they showed Kairos Tonga. He was like going up on the pad, and he just had a really, really, really nice smile, which was like just picture perfect. I thought it was really good. And Thomas Graham Jr. I heard is doing very well in that quarterback position, and a lot of people have high hopes for him, including PFF, which we'll get into a little bit.
I also wanted to talk about something that was this was pretty much all NFL news. The past week, the Darnell Mooney father had all of his son's memes that pretty much like took over the internet. Like people have been going crazy on that. And for those who don't understand, so I'll give a brief background on the story. So in week 7, I believe, when we played the Rams, Darnell Mooney, he crossed up, or he broke the ankles of Jalen Ramsey. He ran a great route, and he got overthrown by Nick Foles because the offensive line could not block for him, and they didn't give him enough time. But Jalen Ramsey is number 1 or number 2 cornerback. It's undisputed. He's a top 2 cornerback, or he's a top 3 cornerback, undisputed. I think he's the best cornerback in the league. But when you look at that, so Darnell Mooney, that meme has just been spammed all over Twitter because they're calling Jalen Ramsey Darnell Mooney's son. And they're not only calling Jalen Ramsey Darnell Mooney's son, they're also calling Darnell Savage, the safety of the Packers, his son, because Darnell Mooney caught a 53-yard pass over Darnell Savage, and that was an insane pass because it was underthrown by Mitch. But all the memes have just been pouring out, and I think it's just because Jalen Ramsey has just been responding to them. He responded to in the comments when Adam Rank said, "Are we going to forget when Darnell Mooney made him look silly?" Jalen Ramsey said, "I'll give him respect. I'll give him his flowers, but he had 0 catches on me. We lost, so STFU." He said that, and then he started posting on Instagram on his own story. He was saying, "I can't wait to shut all you Bears fans up. You guys are so hyped about your number 2 wide receiver." So he's responding to that, and he's getting angry. And then Darnell Savage replied as well. He said, "Bears fans," and then he put the less than sign. So everything is better than Bears fan. So these guys are responding to it. It's kind of really funny to see the Bears community interact this way with DBs in the league. But what's your thoughts on the whole situation?
I mean, I think it's hilarious too because Darnell Mooney hasn't said a thing, and they're taking it extremely personal. And I think it's funny because that's the game Jalen Ramsey plays, is get it to people's heads, and we're already playing it in the offseason before the game. We're just getting into his head, and he's getting ticked off. And I honestly think everyone's doubting Darnell Mooney because Darnell Mooney got that talent, and he did cross him up, and he did get that catch over Darnell Savage. So I think it's hilarious, and honestly, I like that they're both his kids because they should be his kids, to be honest.
I like that. I don't know why you said Jalen Ramsey plays this game. Jalen Ramsey is the king of trash talk. Jalen Ramsey talks so much trash. He was saying the Seahawks, get your hats and shirts and send them to Cabo. Blah blah blah. He was talking so much trash. It's his game. And then the second that he gets trash talk to him, he couldn't control it. He started posting on Instagram. He started making comments, all that, just about a number 2 wide receiver. Didn't he acknowledge
the move that Darnell Mooney did? He said that
he acknowledged it. He said it was a nice move, and then he proceeded to trash on Mooney, saying he had 0 catches. We won the game, so shut up. Like he's saying, oh, nice move, but he's saying that I dominated you. He's trying to talk trash. He's giving a little bit of flowers, but it's kind of like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, but I mean, he still is his kid, so sorry.
So there's not much to say about it. I'm kind of hyped for the first game. I'm kind of hyped for the first game now.
Yeah, so am I.
Because, but I was saying, Jalen Ramsey, he just responded to it, and he just made it worse because people saw that it struck a nerve, so they started coming with it more and more and more. And Jalen Ramsey, he puts wide receivers on islands. He puts DeAndre Hopkins, who's a top 3 wide receiver in the league. He puts him on an island. He puts Calvin Ridley on an island. He puts all these receivers on an island, and then Darnell Mooney crosses him up, a 5th-round rookie wide receiver, and he couldn't hold it. He couldn't contain all the slander. I don't know.
I think it's just funny how he can't take the heat. Yeah. I think that's why people are enjoying it because he's the one who gives the heat. And if he's dishing it out and he can't take it, I think that's why people are thinking it's pretty funny. It's the Bears fans. Yeah. When Bears fans are getting to your head, that means you're like that like Darnell Mooney actually like got it to his head too.
I saw Darnell Mooney said one thing. He put a laughing emoji and he said laughing too hard. That's all he said.
I mean, yeah, on like Twitter, I'm sure it could probably be to that, but I think he's probably enjoying it too. He's just seeing all our fans just like defend him and everything.
You see that GIF? It was like Key and Peele sweating. It's like Darnell Mooney after we trash talk all these DBs and he has to face them.
Yeah, I actually did see that. That's hilarious. That's goofy.
What if this
I
is
feel
just
bad. I
five
actually
head
feel bad for
logic?
Woody.
What if this is five head logic so that Jalen Ramsey shadows Darnell Mooney in the week 1 game and Allen Robinson catches for like 300 yards?
Maybe, maybe.
Five head
We'll
tactics.
see.
I don't know. I guess we will see. But let's transition into our next segment. We're going to be doing reviewing the PFF Shy Bears starting roster predictions. And what's interesting is they had 3 starting rookies on defense and offense. So they had Justin Fields starting at quarterback. They had Tevin Jenkins starting at left tackle, and they also had Thomas Graham Jr. starting at nickelback. What are your thoughts on this?
So I think the Tevin Jenkins starting at left tackle is a given because we cut Leno as soon as we got Tevin Jenkins. So I think that's just a given. We all know that Tevin Jenkins starting at left tackle. They put Jermaine Ifedi over Larry Borom, which means I honestly think that I wouldn't mind putting Larry Borom instead of Jermaine Ifedi. So we could even go for
it's definitely going to lead up to the camp. Like it's going to be who wins the starting position, but them choosing it over a starter, like a vet in the league, over a 5th round rookie, that kind of makes sense. But
Castillo did say, Juan Castillo, our offensive line coach, did say that Jermaine Ifedi might be a Pro Bowler this year, which I mean it might just be like.
And this is the same dude that was putting out Rashad Coward, bro.
I mean, yeah. But we honestly didn't have much like choice at one point. But I don't know why they kept putting him out.
I think the Jermaine Ifedi Pro Bowler is cap. I think that's coach speak. He's going to.
Yeah, I think it's
But hopefully,
I agree.
I'd want him to be a Pro Bowler, but I really highly doubt it.
I agree.
They had Justin Fields starting at quarterback. I hope
too. If that means he beat out Andy Dalton, and I think Justin Fields is a day 1 starter. I think everyone knew Justin Fields was a day 1 starter coming in the draft. I think that it doesn't matter if he's like starts day 1 or not, because I think he's ready. He doesn't need to be developed. He could develop himself with experience on the field.
He's pro ready. He's a pro ready quarterback.
Yeah.
Like he's not like a raw development prospect like Trey Lance, because Trey Lance started only for a year. Like Justin Fields is an established quarterback in a stacked college division. He's been on the brightest stage of all college football. He knows who he is. So I think he's a day 1 starter, and I think he could easily beat out Andy Dalton. Like, I mean, we've seen like low-key who's posting videos of them working out with Andy Dalton, like, and who's commenting, who's praising Andy Dalton on Twitter. So Anthony Miller praised Justin Fields. He says he can throw a ball. And then you also saw Marquis Goodwin meeting up with Justin Fields. So they know. They all
praise Justin Fields.
Yeah,
they all praise Justin Fields.
And then Allen Robinson was liking tweets about Justin Fields.
So I honestly could see Justin Fields starting. I hope he does. I mean, I'm sure all Bears fans hope he does. And I think that'd just be the smart decision overall, because like I said, he's a day 1 starter. And for the third rookie they put was Thomas Graham Jr. in cornerback. Thomas Graham Jr. I think they kind of have him that like the nickel position.
It's kind of interesting.
And I honestly like it because, like I said, I'm very high on Thomas Graham Jr. I think he's the diamond in the rough that we got in the draft. But I think they're also forgetting we also have Kindle Vildor who showed up. There was a person, his name was Max Smith on Twitter. He posted a this mini video thing about Kindle Vildor, where Khalil Vildor is a very, very great tackler.
Yeah, I would say the tackles that he was making in the Vikings game on Dalvin Cook.
Vikings game and in the Jaguars game. But I think that he is good for behind the line of scrimmage type throws and against the run. So I think that Kindle Vildor will be good when Sean Desai. Actually, Sean Desai also is very high in Kindle Vildor. Sean Desai and Kindle Vildor have an extremely good relationship. That's something I read. That's something Sean Desai said also, because he had high hopes for Kindle Vildor in the press conference that he did. But the thing is, I don't think he'll be. I think he's all right in coverage, but I think that Thomas Graham Jr., when it comes down to coverage, I think he'll take over the coverage. And I think that Kindle Vildor would be more for the cornerback and the nickel against the run, because he's a very good tackler.
I could see that. I mean, I was very surprised that they put Thomas Graham Jr. as a starter, as he was very, very, very late round pick in the 2021 NFL draft. But I think that if he can beat out Kindle Vildor for that nickelback spot, I mean, Kindle Vildor, he when he played the last couple of games, because Buster Screen was injured, he was solid. So
Yeah, he was solid.
it's all just depending on if he beats this one person. But also, I'm a little bit concerned, not concerned actually, just questionable about Desmond Trufant being that true cornerback too. I don't know if he's just more of a if he's a set cornerback too, or if they could have Kindle Vildor and Thomas Graham Jr. starting, and Desmond Trufant is sort of that mentor, that veteran force.
Okay, so I think a lot of people are sleeping on Desmond Trufant because of how he did on the Lions. But he was also injured on the Lions, is what people should remember.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's healthy, I think Desmond Trufant is a solid cornerback, and he's deserving of the cornerback 2 role. I think that if they're high on Kindle Vildor and Thomas Graham Jr., then yeah, they will be our future. One will take over nickel, one will take over cornerback 2. If they do well. If not, I still think they'll go back to old reliable Desmond Trufant, the veteran, who proved himself with the Falcons, and he did all right with the Lions, except that he got injured, and the only problem that he has was staying healthy. And if he could stay healthy, it's great. But let's be like real, is that there's a very like low chance that he'll stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Or I want to say there's a very low chance because I don't want to wish injury, but there's a high chance that he could get injured.
Mm-hmm.
And it could require Thomas Graham Jr. stepping in, or Kindle Vildor stepping in that cornerback 2 position. And I think Kindle Vildor, I think either one could step into those positions completely fine. And like I said, I am kind of biased because I have high hopes on Thomas Graham Jr.
No, I feel that Desmond Trufant, he was a solid cornerback when he was healthy, and definitely he's been doubted because playing on the Lions are a disgusting defense. They were bad. They were the worst last year actually, and he was injured. So if he steps in that cornerback 2 role, I expect him, if completely healthy, and if they're not as high on Thomas Graham Jr. and Kindle Vildor as they are for Desmond Trufant, that Desmond Trufant will take over that cornerback 2 role. But that secondary is a little bit concerning. If we're going to move on, free safety. So we have Eddie Jackson starting at free safety, and then we have Sean Gibson starting at strong safety.
I think that's solid.
I think that's solid, but we don't really have. I don't think there's any much depth. Low key.
No, we got like DHC who can play solid.
Yeah, we have DHC and like
Dion
Bush is more like special teamers. But
we also got that Trey Robertson guy.
Robertson.
He was at like CFL star. That we got.
I've been seeing a little bit about him. Yeah,
and he didn't play. And we have R.D. Burns too. We're forgetting about R.D. Burns. R.D. Burns is also a cornerback that we got. And he can play
it's all dependent on Eddie Jackson having a bounce back year. He has to.
Yeah, I think Eddie Jackson will, because everyone, even Akeem Hicks, like everyone on every position, has been gassing up Sean Desai, and they've been gassing up more than they did when who
Chuck Pagano
left us. Chuck Pagano was there, because I don't think anyone was gassing up Chuck Pagano.
No one was gassing up Chuck Pagano. It's him being homegrown and them knowing who he is definitely helps.
And he runs Fangio system.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I hope that he's a true Fangio prodigy. I really do.
Agree. I'm just wondering why they don't got. So if they got Justin Fields, I don't know why they don't got the best duo in the league, Marquis Goodwin as a wide receiver 1 over there. I just think that's kind of confusing.
Yeah, Marquis Goodwin low-key better than Allen Robinson if we're gonna go to wide receivers. So we have obviously wide receiver 1 is Allen Robinson, wide receiver 2 is Darnell Mooney, and then slot Anthony Miller at the slot. That's kind of. I mean, it makes sense because Anthony Miller plays a good majority of his snaps within the slot, and he was our slot receiver last year. But then we have so many wide receivers coming in this year. We have Marquis Goodwin isn't a slot receiver, but we have Damiere Byrd. We have Daz Newsome, Marquis Goodwin. We have so many, and then we have faces that are familiar on the team. We have Javon Wims. We have Riley Ridley. We have players that they're all going to be competing for that number 3 spot, because only thing that's been guaranteed is number 1 and number 2. Number 3 is up for grabs.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, Anthony Miller's. He didn't show up because of immaturity. It's not that he showed up because of he's lacking of skill. He has skill. He just needs to, and maybe this whole just Justin Fields thing will motivate him to actually do well, because it doesn't look like he's motivated on the field. And maybe with Justin Fields, look, he's tweeting out how he likes Justin Fields, how he throw the ball.
Yeah. So the team's behind him.
Yeah, if Anthony Miller actually shows up, and because he has the ability to do so, if he shows up, he'll be a solid wide receiver 3 for us. So I that's fine. That's fine by me that they have Anthony Miller there.
Facts. I really like that. Now to go on to the offensive line. So we already talked about Tevin Jenkins being left tackle. I like that. It's a little weird seeing Cody Whitehair at left guard with James Daniels coming back. Do you think that James Daniels will go back to that left guard spot, or that he'll move to right guard because Cody Whitehair has been so efficient at that left guard position?
I think that James Daniels is very versatile in the guard position, and so I think he'll be solid either left or right guard, so it wouldn't matter. And I think having Cody Whitehair be next to Tevin Jenkins is really good because they've been both talking to each other. So that's kind of just like that side by side chemistry, and I think that's fine. And he did well in left guard. Cody Whitehair did well in left guard.
Great.
James Daniel will do fine left or right guard, so it doesn't matter. So that's fine.
And then Sam Mustipher at center, I really like as well.
Yeah, and center is Sam Mustipher as well. And right tackle, like I said, I could see Larry Borum beating out Jermaine Ifedi if he does well in the offseason.
So for tight end, we have Cole Kmet as the number 1 starter. Jimmy Graham is still on the roster, but Cole
didn't he outsnap him towards the end of the season?
Yeah, towards the end of the season, he outsnapped him. Jimmy Graham.
I think
too many reps.
I think Cole Kmet, they realized that I think we developed him enough, and he's going to be our new tight end because the dude has like insanely more athletic abilities.
Do you see us cutting Jimmy Graham to save $7 million?
No, if we did, we would have cut it before. We would have cut him a while ago. If we did, we would have cut him and we would have kept like
Leno or Fuller. Fuller saved
maybe
like $11 million. So that's kind of crazy to think about how we can cut Graham.
Or maybe they cut Graham and they get that guy for the Washington cut. Morgan Moses. Maybe they get him and have him compete for that right tackle position. Probably put Ifedi or Borum in the guard as like depth.
That wouldn't be too bad, honestly.
Yeah.
Now to move on to the D line. I love this D line, except for one person, which is Robert Quinn. I don't love Robert Quinn.
Yeah, I don't like him either. But we have to give him another chance. We'll give him like 2 games until everyone starts bashing on him and wants him out. But we got Jeremy Atauchu, who I think will outsnap Robert Quinn.
With Robert Quinn, this is Robert Quinn's last year on the Bears if he's not good. After this year, the dead cap, so it was a $70 million contract. After this year, dead cap, it's 3 years, if it's going to be around $18 million. So $6 million dead cap per year. If the cap skyrockets, that's nothing. That's still $6 million a year is not crazy. So if he doesn't play this year, he's gone. So this is just making a break a year. Like I really want him to show up because he wasn't there last year.
He was good in 2019. He can't get any worse. I mean, they were saying he had a lot of injuries.
Yeah,
that's true.
He came out with that he had foot drop, which is
so
very severe.
If that's true, then this season he should be back to his like 2019 form and going crazy. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I like that Akeem Hicks and Eddie Goldman.
And we have Bilal Nichols not mentioned on there.
Yeah, we got Bilal Nichols.
Bilal Nichols is very starting caliber.
Yeah, I honestly think Eddie Goldman and Bilal Nichols are interchangeable.
That's
because Eddie Goldman was like Pro Bowl. He was like somewhat Pro Bowl level if he didn't get injured.
Akeem Hicks, yeah, Akeem Hicks was going crazy
I was saying Eddie Goldman.
Oh, you're saying Eddie Goldman?
Eddie Goldman, when he played 2 years, in 2018, the dude was like Pro Bowl level if he didn't get injured.
Yeah, and then him opting out, which pretty much sucks. But I'm hoping that he comes back and returns to his former form. But that D line, and then you have Khalil Mack. I think Khalil Mack is gonna have a great year. I think
Khalil Mack's having a bounce back year. He's also getting a baby, so congratulations.
Even we call it bounce back because he had what 12.5 sacks in 2018. Then he's had back to back like 8.5 or like 9 sacks. Not too many sacks. I think this is a year where he bounced back, and I think that he has 14 sacks this year.
I think he'll have close to like 12.
12?
Yeah, I think he'll have close to 12. I think 14 is high if he has a crazy year. I mean, actually, it all depends on Sean Desai.
It does depend on Sean Desai.
If Sean Desai is the defensive coordinator that we want him to be, then she could probably. Why not?
But Khalil Mack is such a game wrecker. Khalil Mack is such a game wrecker that he'll have like we call these like down years, but he's still having like he's still a top 5 edge rusher in the league on these down years. I think he's like the 3rd or 4th best, or actually, I think he's the 3rd best edge rusher in the league. And if he comes back, and the only stat that people don't seem to disrespect Khalil Mack is he doesn't get too many sacks. but his tackles for loss, his passes passes deflected. He has his QB
Forced
hits,
fumbles.
his forced fumbles, his pass rush
Pressures.
win rate. All of
Yeah.
that factors into his play, and he's one of the best edge rushers. And I think that this is a year where he actually like truly bounces back and starts getting to the quarterback fully, and has that breakout sack year like he's been he had in the past.
I agree. I think he'll do well too. The only thing that I really hope for is Danny Trevathan showing up, because Danny Trevathan is
True. Yeah, if we're gonna go to
is aging,
linebackers.
and he's the only problem last year for us towards the beginning besides Robert Quinn.
Hmm.
It's because they would always throw to him until Buster Screen got found towards the end of the season. They all started throwing to him.
Yeah, Danny Trevathan was not great. He was not good last year. I think
He showed up towards the end.
He showed up. Yeah, he showed up towards the end, but he was not his tackling wasn't that great in last year. He just the one play that I think about when I think of Danny Trevathan is that Aaron Rodgers touchdown, but I don't even want to really put that on him. The one where MVS where Danny Trevathan was playing. Yeah.
No, that was I'm thinking about Josh Woods.
Yeah, so it was they blitzed Aaron Rodgers, and the only one in coverage to guard MVS was Danny Trevathan. MVS versus Danny Trevathan. Like, I'm gonna chalk that up to defensive scheming, but I think that Danny Trevathan, hopefully he comes back in for another year. But then you have Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith deserves his flowers. Roquan Smith was a top 3 linebacker last year, and no one wants to mention it.
No, I agree. I think he's a top 3 linebacker. I think he should have been All-Pro. I think he should have made the Pro Bowl.
He made All-Pro, but he barely.
No, he made the second team.
Yeah, he made the second team.
I think he should have made the first team.
Oh, he definitely should have made the first team.
I think he should have made the first team.
He had a better year. He had a better year than Bobby Wagner. He had a better year than a couple other players. Like, I mean, like the only people that I think that are on his level are Darius Leonard and what's his name, Fred Warner. Like,
and also I think people are sleeping on the Bucks. Devin White, I think
Devin White's good, but Devin White's good.
He's solid. I think it was key to their Super Bowl. I think
he definitely was key. Devin White is solid. Devin
success.
White's up there, but I think that Roquan Smith is just he's just on another level.
Yeah, I think
Roquan Smith
also.
having those he leading the league in tackles for loss. He was insane. So he had I think he had 139 tackles. He had so he was 6th, I believe, in tackles, but he was up there in pretty much all the linebacker stats, and he injured himself he only played about like 15 games. Like he could have boosted them even more. He had such a great year, and then barely squeaking into All-Pro second team because Devonte David had Devonte David had 10 votes, and then Roquan Smith also had 10 votes. So they both tied for that last position. So he barely squeaked into the All-Pro. He didn't get Pro Bowler either, and that factors into his 5th-year option. That's honestly like better for the team because it's cheaper, but it's kind of whack that he's not getting his flowers, and he's due to be extended. So I wonder how much he's gonna get. I've seen that people talking about Darius Leonard, who was in the same draft class as him. Darius Leonard is in the ballpark of getting around $18 million a year, and with Roquan Smith, honestly, $18 million a year, man, give it to him.
Yeah, no, I agree. He was literally last year he was our best player on the defense.
Oh, definitely.
He was. He outperformed everyone else. He was the most. Even though we all like Jalen Johnson, Khalil Mack, I think Roquan Smith did better than everyone else on the defense.
He was the best player on the defense.
So give him that money. If he deserves that money, he's got to be great for us for years to come. So I like it.
All right. Let's move on to our next series. So we have our core rake series that we talk about a specific position weekly, and we compare it to the rest of the NFC North. So this week we have wide receiver. So we're going to be talking about in depth. First off, let's go by team and talk about their receivers and what we think about them. So the Bears, I like the Bears receiving core. We have Allen Robinson as our number 1. We have Darnell Mooney as our number 2. But we don't have a set number 3. We have Anthony Miller, Marquis Goodwin, Daz Newsome, and Demir Bird.
Listen, we don't have a set number 3, but we still have
really good playmakers.
Like either one of those could be a wide receiver 3.
Yeah, and any of those.
Either one of those. Yeah.
It's only just due to time and who shows up in camp.
Yeah. So I think we have an extremely solid receiving core.
And then for the Packers have Devonte Adams, Allen Lazard, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Equanimeous St. Brown, and Amari Rodgers, and also Devin Funchess is coming back this year off opting out last year for COVID.
Yeah, so Devonte Adams, we all know, is one of the top receivers in the NFL. They got Allen Lazard's all right. Allen Lazard's all
I
right.
think there's
he's all
so
right. I
much
think he's average.
when you go there's Devonte Adams, and then everyone else is just
Yeah.
like 10 tiers below.
They drafted Amari Rodgers, who I liked.
I like that pick too.
Out of Clemson. So I think Amari Rodgers will actually take over that wide receiver 2 position. He'll be the second best receiver. But they really have like after Devonte Adams, it's
very weak. It's very weak.
Yeah.
You have anyone?
But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's a go on. Yeah.
Okay. With the Vikings, they have Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, B.C. Johnson, and then Amir Smith-Marset. After those two, that's all you need. Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, that's all you need.
Yeah, it's literally like they're both
elite.
crazy receivers.
Yeah, they're both
crazy
insane.
receivers.
And then if we're gonna go on to the Lions have Brashad Perriman, Terrell Williams, Quintez Cephas, and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, I like Tyrell Williams if he's healthy.
Yeah.
If not,
nothing
Brashad
crazy.
Perriman, sure.
Yeah, Brashad Perriman, man. Like I like Amon-Ra St. Brown though. I like that draft pick.
He's the rookie, right?
Yeah, he's a rookie. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll be all right. I don't think it's anything special.
Yeah, nothing.
But I think Tyrell Williams, if he's healthy, he'll be solid. But if not,
so before we give our top 5 wide receivers in the division and ranking them, I'd like to rank the receiving corps. So number 1, I have the Vikings having the best receiving corps. I was wondering what you think.
No, I agree. I think because Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson, they're just elite receivers. And when you have 2 elite receivers like that, you can literally go to either one, and they'll always make the catch.
And then they also have Dalvin Cook. So Dalvin Cook is another like pretty much receiver for that team with the amount of reps that he gets in.
So their receiving core is actually just like absolutely insane.
It's
they have a top receiving core in the NFL. It's not even just in our division. They have a top receiving core in the NFL. Then I think the second best receiving core is us.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, like after the Packers, what else is there in that depth? Nobody.
No one.
What do we got? We got Devonte Adams. All right, they got Devonte Adams, but like after that, they got nobody.
Darnell Mooney is better than anyone on the Packers not named Devonte Adams.
Darnell Mooney is.
I think our wide receiver 3s are in contention are in contention for their wide receiver 2s because I think our wide receivers 3s are like the same level of their wide receiver 2. Like Anthony Miller, same levels like Allen Lazard. Anthony Miller, Marquis Goodwin, Daz Newsome, Demir Bird. Those are like same levels like Allen Lazard and MVS.
This is what I'm gonna say. If Anthony Miller or Marquis Goodwin were with the Packers, then I honestly believe that they would take that wide receiver position in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah,
because with Aaron Rodgers, throwing to them, I think they'll
Aaron
succeed.
Rodgers with Marquis Goodwin.
Yeah, Marquis Goodwin will literally be the new duo. Yeah, the new duo over there. It'll just be insane. But did we even explain the whole new duo thing with Marquis Goodwin?
Should we explain it for the podcast?
Yeah, explain it.
Okay. So yeah, we've been laughing a little bit too much about this. So I posted. So I've been keeping up with trying to blow up on TikTok and all social media. So I've been posting videos on Bears updates, and I posted this one video of Marquis Goodwin and Justin Fields, and I said new duo, and my friend Jamil, who's another co-host on our Real Talk Network podcast, he keeps bringing it up, and he keeps sending in the chat saying new duo question mark. Oh, Justin Fields and Marquis Goodwin, they're gonna be insane because Marquis Goodwin he's a wide receiver 4 on our team probably. So
even I thought that was hilarious.
It was goofy. It was goofy to say new duo because obviously Mooney and A-Rob are better. And like they've been joking, saying that, oh my God, Marquis Goodwin is better than Robinson and all that stuff. So that's the joke that's been going on. But obviously, I don't think that highly of him. But I was just posting an update. But to talk about
Rodgers, he would be dirty. With Rodgers,
he would be dirty because he's that deep threat. Because Marquez Valdes-Scantling is that deep threat, but he cannot hold on to the ball.
Imagine if Darnell Mooney was with the Rodgers. That would literally be disgusting.
Darnell Mooney with Rodgers would have had 12. Darnell Mooney with Rodgers last year would have had 1,000 yards guaranteed.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like I think if you add Darnell Mooney to them, like that would have helped. That would have helped them so much. Like I mean, in the NFC Championship, they had drop balls. Like Devonte Adams. Well, obviously Devonte Adams is like one of the best receivers, but Devonte Adams dropped balls. Equinemius St. Brown dropped a 2-point conversion. They were dropping balls left and right.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think they win the Super Bowl.
I could see
if they had Darnell Mooney. I don't know
about that. I don't know. I think it helps them a lot. I think it helps them. They still had a terrible O line.
That was their only problem was
But
because
also
they
the
had
O
no one
line.
else to throw
They
to
didn't have the
besides.
O line to protect Rodgers.
They were missing who? They were only missing.
They're missing Bakhtiari, but that's like the best left tackle
That's
in the
big,
game.
yeah, that's big. But also, Aaron Rodgers has
He didn't
played
have
with a
receivers,
bad
yeah.
line and still plays really good. He just didn't have the receivers open. Darnell Mooney's always open because that dude route runs amazing. He catches amazing, and he's just extremely fast. So I think if you pair him, because all the cornerbacks, everyone just focused on Devonte Adams because they know
Yeah,
everyone else is
that's
trash.
facts.
So if you got Darnell Mooney, that's a threat, and that's going to split up
Mhm.
Devonte Adams and Mooney. So I honestly believe that they would have scored more points
I'm
if they
happy
had
they
Darnell
don't
Mooney on the
have
team.
Darnell Mooney.
No, I'm
Yeah,
extremely happy
right.
they don't have Darnell Mooney.
So so my ranking, and then everyone has Lions at 5 because the Lions receiving core is nothing special. So both we
What
we
have been
both
if they
agree.
kept Galladay and
I think
Guy.
if they kept Galladay, then I think if they kept Galladay, they still would have been.
Cause,
No, they would have been the same level
they
as
had
the Packers.
Galladay and then they had I forgot his name though.
Actually, no. I think they
They
still
had
would have been
Galladay. Who's the
last.
other guy? Marvin Jones.
If they kept Marvin Jones Jr. and Kenny
Galladay
and
then
like
Golden Tate.
Amon-Ra, St. Brown,
No, Golden Tate is on my bad. Golden
that's better
Tate
than the
is
Packers.
Giants. Golden Tate.
What'd you say? Golden
What team
Tate?
is
No,
Golden Tate?
Golden Tate's not on the line. He's on the. I think he was on the Giants. I think Marvin Jones Jr. went to the Jaguars. Low-key.
Yeah, so Marvin Jones Jr. left and Galladay left. But I
Mhm.
honestly think that those two, that combo is very good.
Yeah,
I
that combo
think-
was
I
great.
think-
So they're missing out on that. But unanimous, or both of us consensus, it's number 1, Vikings, number 2, Bears, number 3, Packers, and number 4, Lions. But now we're going to give up our top 5 wide receivers in the division. So number 1, I don't think it's too much of a too crazy to say that Devonte Adams is the best receiver in our division.
It is hard to say. It is hard to say though.
It
But
is
yeah,
hard to
Devontae
say
Adams is
because it's all the hypotheticals. Like, if Allen
Yeah.
Robinson was catching balls from Aaron Rodgers, how good would he do? Like, you see Allen Robinson drop 1,400 yards with Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles is his quarterback. He has had the worst quarterback play. I think Devonte Adams is better than him skill-wise, but it's always that what if, like that hypothetical. Like, if Allen Robinson had a true quarterback, which hopefully he does now, hopefully. But if he had that true quarterback, and people like to clown on Allen Robinson because he chose not to go to the Packers. I think that he definitely kind of hurt himself because he doesn't have a quarterback to throw to him. But he's also building something, and he's building more credibility with him. Because if he was on the Packers, he'd be living in Devontae's shadows for the longest time. Allen Robinson is making a name for himself because he's putting up consistent numbers with terrible quarterback play, and he's a consensus top 7 wide receiver in the league. And I think it's always that hypothetical, but that's Allen Robinson is my number 2 in the division. And I don't think that's too crazy to say.
No, I have the same. I think Devonte Adams is the best.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really debate it,
Yeah,
or like you can't deny the facts.
hypotheticals. Yeah,
Yeah, you can't
Devontae
really
Adams
deny
is
the
better
facts of
route
what
running.
actually happened.
I think Allen
So
Robinson has
Devontae-
better hands, but Devonte Adams is better route running and better skill sets overall.
Yeah, and so that's why I really think. Because I mean, look at the stats too. Like 115 receptions, 1,374 yards, 18 touchdowns. Compared to Allen Robinson, 102 receptions, 1,250 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So he has more than double his touchdowns. Devontae Adams.
Yeah, triple
He
his
has
touchdowns.
1,000. Yeah, he has 124 yards more than Allen Robinson, and he has 13 more receptions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's extremely solid.
I think their stats are comparable when you're looking at the 13 receptions for only 1,274 or 124 more yards. That's pretty comparable. Like they pretty much have the same yards per catch, but he's not getting the volume. Allen Robinson is on a poverty
yards per
offense.
catch.
Their yards per catch, they're pretty close. 115 for 1,374 and 102 for 1,250 are pretty close.
Well, also Devontae Adams had really good hands too.
Yeah,
And that's like undeniable because everyone saw how he actually caught really really good but like that 13 more receptions, 124 more yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's an entire new game.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a whole new game that
is another
Allen
game.
Robinson has.
That is true.
That's another game in which you have to do well in, like really
and
well.
that 18 touchdowns, he was just a red zone demon. So you gotta give him his flowers. Honestly, he was untouchable in the end zone. So give him that. But then for my third wide receiver, I have Justin Jefferson. He had 88 receptions for 1,400 yards and 7 touchdowns. I've seen people debate this: who's better, Justin Jefferson or Adam Thielen? I honestly think that Justin Jefferson is better.
No, I agree. I think Justin Jefferson's better too, but I think Adam Thielen's very close. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think it's
I
like
mean,
he beats him out of the park.
yeah,
I don't think it's
I
insanely far.
well, I think Justin Jefferson because like, dude, he got what? All right, let's look. 14 more receptions. Because Justin Jefferson had 88 receptions, 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns. Adam Thielen 74 receptions, 925 and 14 touchdowns. So Adam Thielen did have double the amount of touchdowns Justin Jefferson did, but Justin Jefferson got what like
those yards.
that is like
475 more yards.
475 more yards.
And only 14
insane.
more receptions. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's actually insane. And for a rookie too, I think that just shows that he's even just going to get better too.
His development is going to be insane to watch. But then, going into that, I have Adam Thielen as my number 4. It's not very hard. Adam Thielen. What'd you say?
It's very easy to rank. Like the
it's
NFC
very is.
I think it's clear to show. Because I've Adam Thielen on my 4 too.
Because the amount of skills, like it's very comparable. Very comparable. Like there's a set order. You can't really argue position wise for the NFC North. But then for number 5, I had Darnell Mooney. I don't think this is
the most arguable one.
You think this is?
I think this is the most arguable one because I have Darnell Mooney too because I love the kid, but Tyrell Williams I think people are sleeping on. The dude was very good when he was healthy. I think when with the Raiders like. He was like their best receiver on the Raiders. He really was their best receiver on the Raiders when he was healtty. But the problem is the dude can't stay healthy.
Yeah, he can't.
And Darnell Mooney has the potential to. I think Darnell Mooney has a better skill set. It's just that Tyrell Williams is also just like also crazy in his own
I think so
but
too.
Yeah, I think Darnell Mooney is
Rashad Perriman has just never lived up to his draft potential when he got picked in the first round. And his career best receiving yards was only 14 more than Mooney had in his rookie year. So I think that Mooney is going to take a step up in this next year with the new quarterback play, entirely different offense with the amount of pieces added. So I'm very much excited just to watch his progression next year.
Honestly, Darnell Mooney might pass up Adam Thielen with good quarterback play. I think Darnell Mooney might pass up.
That's not too crazy. I think Adam.
That's not too crazy.
That's not too crazy. I mean, I think Adam with good quarterback play.
Listen,
I don't know. I think Adam Thielen's too good.
I do, but I think Darnell Mooney is faster. I think Darnell Mooney is going to be a better outrunner than Adam Thielen, and I think Darnell Mooney can create more separation. I think Darnell Mooney is going to have better hands.
If Justin Fields is who we think he is, then that's possible. That's very, very, very possible.
Yeah, that's what I think so. Because he had what? Adam Thielen didn't even get over 1,000 yards. Adam Thielen didn't get over 1,000 yards. That's pretty big. And Darnell Mooney didn't either, but he was a rookie with bad quarterback play, with horrible quarterback play. Not even just bad. It was literally disgusting.
Kirk is slept on. Kirk is good.
And Kirk is good. Yeah, no, I'm not saying Kirk is bad.
Yeah,
Kirk is good, and I don't think he's like.
Perennial.
Sure, he could probably be
Kirk is like a top 15 quarterback, like 10 to 15.
Yeah,
he's
top 15, 10 to 15, but that's compared to what our
what is ours? Bottom 5? Best.
Their backups better than our quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Tyler Heineke was better than our quarterback. Our quarterbacks are literally ranked like 35 and 36 in that order. Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles.
I did see that there were backups ranked better than Mr. Trubisky. But yeah.
So I honestly believe we have a better quarterback. But that's also the dilemma. Like that's why I'm not saying Darnell Mooney is better than Adam Thielen. I'm just saying that he has the potential to be better than Adam.
With proper quarterback play, definitely I could see it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Shy Bears Blitz podcast. We've got another great episode for you guys coming next week. Be sure to follow us on all socials. We're trying to stay active on TikTok, Twitter, everything. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on all of our streaming platforms where we distribute our podcast: Spotify, Apple Music, Google, everything. We appreciate you guys listening. Take care.
See ya.